Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing it solo. Mr. Zig is on vacay. And today's topic, we are going to be discussing the I'm not above the law. No one is above the law attitude of the politicians today, and how they keep throwing that out there for everyone to understand that you're not above the law. Now we find out that Hillary's above the law, but that's in the past. Comey, Brennan, all those guys, everybody that was associated with the Russia hoax from 2016 to 2020, that they're all above the law. So let's say that, get that out there right now, and let's post that there are some people above the law, but nope, nobody's above the law. So we're going to go over some of the things that is going on in Minnesota, and the fact that the mayor has incited a riot. The governor has incited a riot. They all believe that they have that concept too, that I'm above the law. I am a political career politician. So the law to everyday Americans doesn't apply to me. I get on the air and say stupid crap about, Minnesotans. The ICE agents are here to arrest American citizens. Well, that's all bullshit. They are not arresting American citizens. Now, under Tim Frey, or Jacob Frey, you're going to find out that this guy, he's compassionate. He is compassionate about ICE arresting American citizens, which we all know that's not happening. So let's take a look at the interview that Mr. Frey had on Fox News, and some of the comments that he made here, and the compassionate in his voice about ICE coming in and taking Minnesotans away. So let's take a look at this.
Has been in focus as protests break out after the deadly ICE-involved shooting last week. We've all seen this video of the moment it all played out. Let's watch.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former. You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Whoa.
Let's bring in now Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey. Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here. In the immediate aftermath of that shooting, this was your response. Watch.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
In hindsight, Mr. Mayor, was that the appropriate response?
I stand by exactly what I said, and to be clear, what I was responding to was an immediate...
Look how calm and cool, collective this guy is. Man,
conclusion that had been drawn by the federal government, where they said, one, the ICE agent was acting in self-defense, and then shortly thereafter saying that the victim was a domestic terrorist. We need to be doing everything possible right now to have a full and fair investigation, and my deep concern is when the conclusion is drawn by the government that's actually doing the investigation itself, it's much harder to trust the investigation. We need to make sure that the American people can earn and gain that trust. And yes, I think there's deep concerns with having exclusively the FBI and not our Bureau of Criminal Apprehension at the state level conducting the investigation itself. This is an entity that has police officers and law enforcement and attorneys, people that have deep experience in investigating cases involving an officer-involved shooting. And by the way, they've come to conclusions and investigated cases that have resulted in charges and a lack thereof. And so, you know, our pitch is, look, none of us should hide from the facts here. And if we're not hiding from them, then let's make sure it's a full and fair investigation.
And would you agree that no one should be jumping at conclusions until we have that investigation, and then we'll find out what facts can come to light?
Well, I'm grateful that I'm not the one investigating this, nor is the city of Minneapolis. And when you have the secretary working at the federal government saying immediately that this was an action of self-defense, when you have the federal government booting the state government from the process entirely, yeah, there's concerns associated with that. I mean, look, we've all seen the video. I don't need to pass judgments here on it. But what I do know, and this is the bottom line, is, look, I may have disagreements with some people that are part of your audience, but I hope that people can trust that I love my city. We are experiencing an extraordinary comeback. Crime.
Yeah, you know, this is a man that loves his city. He loves to watch it burn down to the ground like he did in 2020, the summer of love. Yeah, oh yeah, I believe this man. He loves his city.
Is down in virtually every category, in virtually every neighborhood. Small businesses were opening, and this whole chaos that's taking place, yeah, it's setting us back. And so my ask is simple. Let us have that beautiful rebound. Let's keep the safety improvements going. Let's keep these small businesses opening. And right now, it's getting hard because, yeah, you've got people that are afraid to go into work. Schools have shut down. I mean, we've only had 2 shootings as of recent in the city this year, and one of them was the ICE situation.
Well, Jacob, I hate to tell you this, but my God, this year is only 18 days old. You know, so proud of you.
That you just pointed out.
Would you agree, Mr. Mayor? You ask ICE to get the F out of your city. Here's the little secret. ICE, I'm sure, would like to not have to be doing the surge operations, but because of 4 years under the President Biden administration, you had an unprecedented number of illegal migrants coming across the border. Many of them turned out to be criminal illegal aliens, and now they are going after those individuals. We can show you just a litany of, scores of illegal criminal aliens that have been apprehended in the past few days that have included everyone from murders to sex assault of minors. These individuals were roaming free in your city because your policies do not cooperate with detainers, and so ICE is then.
And here's number 1. The governor and the mayor believe they are above the law. We don't have to cooperate with federal agents, ICE agents. We are above the law. We can make our own rules.
Going to get these people off the street. You would agree that the streets are safer without these individuals on your streets.
Look, in Minneapolis and in Minnesota, we are anti-murder. We are anti-crime. We are for improving the safety wherever we can. And by the way, we have worked with administrations, both present and past, to drive down crime. We've worked with the DEA, the ATF, the FBI to prosecute and charge violent crime. We've worked to get perpetrators of violent gun crime off the street, narcotics off the street. In fact, the work that was conducted was so successful.
But as far as working with ICE, who is there to get the illegals out of our city and our state. We're not going to work with them. No. We're not going to work with those guys because they're here to get the criminal illegals and the illegals out of our city, our state. We don't want that.
It resulted in the lowest number of shootings on record on, for instance, the North Side. We are willing to work with people when it's about murder and when it's about crime. But the truth is that this ain't about that. If this were about that, we'd have many important areas where there would be areas where we could work together. This, however, is the largest immigration enforcement.
Is he suggesting to us that there are no illegal criminals in Minneapolis? Is that what he just said?
Action on record in the United States. And so I would just ask you, why is the largest scale immigration enforcement action taking place where we don't even have that many undocumented immigrants? Why would it not take place in Texas or Florida?
Well, you do have illegals there. Gee, that's Mr. Obvious. You know, as long as you have illegals there, they are going to come and arrest those people.
Or Utah, where you do actually have those large numbers of undocumented immigrants, because that's where it would actually make more sense. But again, if the issue is murder or crime, the answer is we do work with the federal government. In fact, we're presently doing that. We're presently doing this.
Texas,
so the truth.
No, you're not. ICE is part of the federal government. They are there to clean up your streets as far as illegals go. So don't give me that hogwash that you're working with federal agencies.
It's not about murder or crime. It's not.
You mentioned Texas and Florida. You just had a surge in Louisiana, and you didn't see any of the commotion that you are seeing now in your city because all of those states fully cooperate with ICE detainers. Just look at some of the videos, Mayor Frey, that we have seen of these protesters, many of whom you have praised. You've called them heroes for being out there exercising their First Amendment rights, but they've gone farther. They're blocking the ICE operations. They're
thousands
take a look at some of the videos. You've seen these.
I'm happy to look at videos. I've seen it happening live.
Watch this.
So, do you want?
Well, what don't we get that's peaceful? to Jacob and Tim, that's a peaceful protest. And to Democrats, that is a peaceful protest right there, folks. That's the face of peaceful protest in today's society, right here.
And so that's just a sample.
Question: how many of those idiots do you actually think is from Minnesota, that live in Minnesota? How many? Comment below if you would.
Sampling of it, you're seeing it in real time. You are aware that 18 U.S. Code 111 makes it a federal crime to impede, interfere, or even assault officers. And we see the protesters crossing a line of protesting, throwing rocks, hitting cars, and interfering in the federal government's view of their operation of carrying out federal immigration law enforcement.
We have had perhaps tens of thousands of people peacefully protesting in the streets. And at the same time, yeah, they are going to stand up for their neighbors. And what we are seeing time and time again is unconstitutional conduct by ICE. ICE is not new. Our separation ordinance in the city is not new. ICE has been around for decades, so has our separation ordinance. What is new? What is new is the way that the Trump administration is presently conducting themselves. Now, again,
so you have
if this were about murder, or, yeah, we do have a lawsuit.
That must be his marching orders to say that ICE isn't new. This isn't new. But the behavior today is new under Donald Trump. Under President Trump, this is new, how ICE is conducting itself. That is new. Rest of it isn't new. He's been saying that everywhere he goes on every program. If you watch the other crap that's out there, but this is his beating the drum of ICE isn't new. Us helping ICE isn't new, but the way ICE is behaving, that is new because it's under President Trump.
Let's talk about that.
So legal analysts, not just on Fox News, on CNN and other networks, are saying that this holds no water. There's no basis for it. You're telling me here on Fox News that you support law enforcement removing murderers and rapists. So what's with the lawsuit?
Well, because what is happening right now through ICE is not about getting rid of murderers. What we see right now is discrimination taking place only on the...
Why isn't it? Why isn't it? It is about getting rid of the illegal murderers, the illegal criminals. If I was a Minnesotan, man, I'd be so pissed right now that, of course, we got that same horse shit here in our state of Illinois. So it's just a matter of time before it goes to shit. But with who we have, what leadership we have. So, but yeah, this is crazy to think that arresting illegals is something different than arresting a criminal that is an American citizen.
The basis of race, are you Latino or are you Somali? And then it is indiscriminate thereafter. In other words, they are pulling people off the streets. They have pulled U.S. citizens off the streets. And you don't need to take my word for it. At this point, this has been very well documented. And also, you don't need to take my word for it. Listen to Trump. Trump himself is saying that this is about retribution. He's saying that there is a reckoning and a retribution that is coming. And so, again, if this were about murder or rape or crime or fraud, then, look, we have worked together, not just with the Biden administration, with the past Trump administration, with the Bush administration. Right. We have worked with a number of different administrations to successfully drive down crime.
President Trump,
is not
Mr. Mayor,
about that. And so
secured the border, which is what he ran on. Do you give him credit for securing that border? Now he is going through the interior with ICE operations to remove the criminal illegal aliens that came in that open border of the previous administration. I think at the end of the day, let me get you on record if I can, Mr. Mayor. Do you support abolishing ICE?
I do not support abolishing ICE. However, I absolutely oppose the way that this administration is conducting themselves with us. Look, there are a number of entities presently, agencies at the federal government. But isn't that what your lawsuit is about,
that are conducting
themselves? No, you should read the lawsuit. The lawsuit says that, hey, you know, ICE doing ICE stuff is not what we're talking about right now. Again.
Then what is it? What the hell are you talking about? If it isn't talking about stopping ICE from doing their job.
We've had ICE in our city before. We've had ICE in our state before. It is the fact that, look, right now, there's about 3,000 federal ICE agents in our city between ICE and Border Control. You know how many police officers that we have? 600.
Right.
The kind of duress.
And bless their hearts. I want to say that. Bless the 600 police officers in Minneapolis hearts. I mean, to stay around after knowing this fucking idiot is still in charge and telling you to step back and let them burn, and the governor let them burn your precinct to the fucking ground. That lucky son of a bitch there should be lucky that he has any police officers left. So bless the hearts, and God loved the police officers that stuck around after all of that chaos, and that they got 600. At least they got 600. I was surprised at that number, to tell you the truth. And he might be lying about it. He may not have that many, but he just wants to make it sound like he has that many. But bless their hearts, if he does have the 600, whatever police officers are left in Minneapolis, then bless their hearts is all I got to say.
That our city is experiencing because of this is magnified. Again, crime has been down. This is not helping. Chaos has been dramatically increased by the way that these ICE operations are taking place. And we are looking for ways to keep this city safe. I hope that people, especially viewing, can understand that we want to keep this city safe.
Then why do you call for anarchy? Why are you calling for the protesters to get out and make themselves known and stop ICE at any cost? He wants his city to be safe. Listen to that crap. He wants it to be safe and out saying and doing what he's doing.
This is not accomplishing it by any standard.
I appreciate your viewpoint. I want to get a question in and respect your time on fraud. But lastly, just one last one. You mentioned President Trump. So he is threatening to pull funding from sanctuary jurisdictions that have policies such as Minneapolis. Your reaction?
We have a separation ordinance in the city. And you know what that ordinance says? It says that I want our limited numbers of police officers focusing on keeping people safe, arresting perpetrators of violent crimes, stopping car thefts from taking place. That's what I want them focusing on.
He wants his police officers to be focused on the legal, the American citizen doing crime. That's what he wants.
You know what I don't want them focusing on? Hunting down a dad that just...
Listen to how compassionate this man is for illegals. Listen to this.
Dropped his kids off at daycare, is about to go work a 12-hour shift, who happens to be from Ecuador. That guy makes our city a better place. So again, if we're talking about arresting violent criminals, Minneapolis does not oppose that, but that's not what is taking place in the streets of our city. People who are American citizens.
I appreciate the compassion.
I want to say this again. American citizens are being taken off our streets right now, and I hope any American citizen...
There is not American citizens. See, that's the delusion of the Democratic Party. If you make it across the border and you come to a blue state, blue city, you are an American citizen. Congratulations, you made it. That's the delusion that Democrats live under. The delusion also that they live under is if you were born a man and you want to be a woman, congratulations, you're now a woman. They're delusional, all of them.
Citizen out there can understand how concerning that is.
I appreciate freedom.
We should be about freedom in this country. We should be about liberty. And when you are an American citizen that is being...
He doesn't say anything about, but do it the right way. No, if you want to sneak across the border, break our laws to get here, then by God, you're an American citizen.
Being picked up by a federal agent of any administration, we should all be saying, you know what, let's take a beat, let's think this through. Maybe this isn't right.
There's two sides to this story. You mentioned an Ecuadorian migrant. Are you familiar with Victoria Eileen Harwell? An Ecuadorian illegal immigrant in August of 2024, driving drunk, crashed head-on into Victoria Harwell, killing her. Her 14-year-old daughter survived, and her sister. ICE released her, local Hennepin County released her not once but twice and didn't cooperate with ICE detainers. Why not? Since you're in favor of removing them, cooperate with ICE. Whether you have this sanctuary policy that the DHS says it is, you call it a separation ordinance. Why not just cooperate and make it safer for everyone involved? The community, the officers, and even the migrants.
My position here is pretty straightforward, and that's this. If you commit a crime, if you commit fraud, If you commit a carjacking or a murder, you should be investigated, charged, prosecuted, held accountable, and yes, arrested and put in jail. That is my position if you commit a crime and you are a problem on the streets of the city of Minneapolis that has made us less safe. What I am saying is that a lot of the people that ICE is picking up right now in our city are not a problem for Minneapolis. They've opened businesses. They've been here for longer than I've been here. They contribute so beautifully and greatly to our city. They have families here. They're our neighbors, and yeah, we love them. We love them and we care about them. And I hope that people throughout the country can understand that, you know, we got to be thinking about other people as if it were ourselves. You know, what would we do in these situations? How would we handle ourselves? And, you know, we care deeply about our immigrant population. We care deeply about everybody in our city. And what we're seeing right now is the kind of chaos that is being caused by this massive influx of ICE agents isn't helpful.
Let me just turn quickly.
So listen to Mayor Frey there. And the compassion that the man put into that, I'm going to have to say that, you know, we're to President Trump, Tom Homan, Kristen Noem, you know, you guys need to get out of there, because apparently all the fantastic good illegals have went to Minnesota. There's not a damn Minnesota illegal up there that has committed any crime. And let's face it, you're even getting the Republican Party. Some Republicans agree with Democrats that just because they break the law of crossing into our country, well, maybe we shouldn't be arresting them people. So apparently, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, President Trump, you guys have got it wrong. All of the good illegals, the law-abiding, other than just crossing our border illegals, are going to Minneapolis. So what the hell are you doing there? To listen to this man. Listen to this man. And here is another question about the woman that killed. So how is it that if I was to be drunk and kill somebody, that my life is turned upside down? I am going to jail. I have got to, and this woman gets released back out on the city. How can that be? And that's a story, you know, that we need to follow. That if we had reporters that actually done their damn job, we would know. We would know if what's going on with this woman. But like the media today, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. We just want to throw the story out. We don't give a damn about finishing up and saying, here's what happened. This is what happened to this woman. Okay, but I don't understand why an American citizen that would have done that would have been drunk, killed somebody in a car accident. Their life is in ruin, and which, you know, shouldn't be drinking and driving. Let's say that. You shouldn't be doing that. But why is it that American citizen is going through all of the hoops and all of the downfall, and this woman gets released back out on the street, according to what Griff said there? It's amazing. I just don't understand that.
And we so appreciate your time. To the issue of fraud, you recently said fraud is real. There's convictions have been done, and you say that Governor Walz has taken measures. But you also said that, you know, more could have been done. Those were your comments on the Sunday show where you had an interview on Sunday. And my question to you is that sufficient to the Minnesota taxpayers for whom billions was stolen to just say more could have been done? Would you like to address the taxpayers and weigh in a little bit more on where this fraud investigation goes?
I would like to address it. more could have been done, more can be done. And I think it makes it really clear that this is not about clamping down on fraud, these ICE arrests we're seeing in our city, when the people that have been investigating the fraud just walked out of the U.S. Attorney's Office. The people that have been investigating and prosecuting this fraud in the Trump administration at the U.S. Attorney's Office said, you know what is happening isn't right. It's not fair. It's not, I mean, I don't, what is happening?
It is fair for Somalians to fraud the American people. So the Justice Department says that ain't fair that we are investigating all this fraud. So we're just going to walk right on out. We're done. You guys are wanting us to investigate $9 billion worth of fraud through Somalians. We are not doing that. Now give me American citizen. Give me American citizen, and by God, I will investigate, turn over, have their lives put through hell. But this is not fair that you want to investigate Somalians in fraud and $9 billion gone. It's just not fair. And by God, I quit my job to, by God, protest this. Only in America, folks.
Happening is not okay, and they all walked out.
Walked out.
And so, again, this ain't about clamping down on fraud when the investigators themselves just left.
So Governor Walz has decided he's not going to run for re-election. Does Attorney General Keith Ellison bear some responsibility for why this fraud was so widespread and was able to go on for so long without being noticed?
Look, there have been investigations into this fraud now for years.
And let's put into perspective also, and let's make it clear that his wife is also being investigated as well. She was involved in the fraud for the Somalians. So, and let's also say, get it out there right now as well, that, you know, as long as the ICE thing is going on, in which he's reverting back to the ICE, as long as that going on and that's making headlines, and we can keep those hired people out there protesting, then the fraud thing is going to stay out of the limelight, and we're going to be focused on that. That's where we've got all of our players: CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS. You know, all those guys. All they're worried about is this ICE protest. That's all they're worried about. Fraud? What fraud? Where did fraud? Where was fraud committed? That's all they're worried about, and that's all this is about. Is let's keep it in the limelight about the ICE agents. That's all. That's all they're wanting to do.
People have been prosecuted. People have been convicted, and that's the way it should be. When you commit a crime in this country, you are held accountable and you go to jail as an individual. You go to jail as an individual. Entire communities, entire populations are not held accountable for the actions of the individuals that actually did it. And so that's where my position is. And again, if we care about the investigation of these crimes, and I do you find it concerning that all of the people that were actually investigating and prosecuting this crime just walked out? Do you find that concerning?
We just cover it and we see where the facts lead us.
I'm not sure that even happened. I have not seen anything where prosecutors, investigators, who was investigating the fraud, the $9 billion fraud that anybody could see was going on through the Nick Shirley video. No, everyone can see that there is fraud. And now this guy wants you to believe that the people at the Justice Department that was investigating this has decided that since They want them to investigate $9 billion in the Somali community. That they're done. I'm leaving. I'm quitting my job. There is no way that I am investigating those people, because apparently they believe that that's not true. That's what I would believe. That they believe it's not true. That the Somali people did not fraud the American taxpayer, the American people, out of their tax money. That just didn't happen. And for the secretary to Bondi to want me to investigate that's bullshit, and I'm leaving. I quit my job. Come on. There's no way in hell that would have happened. No way. Hopefully next time Mr. Zig gets back from his vacation and we can sit here and have a conversation. But I hope you all subscribe, like, and comment, and we will talk to everybody later. Bye, everybody.